What the hell are you? I'm Batman.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a few days since my last upload, but that's because I've been busy. And when I say I've been busy, it means I've actually been able to play some video games. I've been playing the Modern Warfare beta and really enjoying it. I'm gonna have a separate video completely dedicated to that beta as soon as it comes over on PC, since I don't have a capture card. But when it does come out on PC, I will be sure to record tons of gameplay and post that because I'm having a lot of fun with it. While playing it, that's kind of what got me on this topic. My main game is Battlefield 5. Through all of its faults and through all of its issues, I still enjoy playing it because Battlefield is a franchise that is actually very near and dear to me. Back when I built my first gaming PC when I was in high school, Battlefield 3 was really the first FPS game that really sucked me in. And when I started with that, I played with a controller. Yeah, not too proud to admit that, but I didn't know how to play with a fucking mouse and keyboard. It was really difficult, okay? Anyway, I knew Battlefield from console games. I played Battlefield, 2142. I did not pause this to look that up because I couldn't remember because it came out when I was young. Clearly, it had a very lasting impression on me. That was one of the first Battlefield games I ever played, and I really enjoyed it. I didn't really know what was going on in the game, but I thought it was a fun, futuristic space shooter. Then, of course, I got into Bad Company, which changed my life forever. But Battlefield 3 was my first introduction to the mainline series of Battlefield games. Since Battlefield 3, I have loved the franchise for its sense of scale, satisfying tight gunplay, and the way it allows you to play with multiple different playstyles thanks to the class systems, you know, with different weapons and gadgets that you can choose from, and how you mix and match those with each class really is going to change up the way that you play the game. For example, do you want to be a sniper and take out enemies from afar? You can equip a long-range optic on your rifle so you don't have to get anywhere near the objective. And you can take pot shots at people and just suppress them. That way when they get killed by teammates that are actually on the objective, you'll get a suppression assist point. Or you can be an aggressive scout and equip, I don't know, a DMR with short-range optics or no optics at all, and maybe a spawn beacon to help infiltrate the enemy's objective. Just a thought. But anyway, that's the beauty of Battlefield. It lets you play how you want to play. Not only does it let you choose from different classes on the ground, but you can also get in a tank, you can get in a helicopter, you can get in a jet, you can pretty much wreak havoc in any way that you want. Over the years, Battlefield has made some missteps, and I think taking a look back on those will inform my opinion on today's Battlefield. The launch of Battlefield 4 was absolutely atrocious. Multiple game-breaking glitches and bugs, and a multiplayer that was almost unplayable due to network connectivity issues or server issues. Eventually, these were all fixed, and Battlefield 4 has become one of the, if not the most popular game in the franchise, which is still loved and played to this day. Then we have Battlefield Hardline, which is without question the black sheep of the Battlefield series. This, of course, is not to say that everyone who played Battlefield Hardline hated it. Just a majority did. Hardline introduced a very generic cop TV drama style campaign that was broken up into different episodes, and it gave you the ability to arrest your enemies, but then you could just turn around and just start shooting everyone and mowing everyone down. It kind of broke the immersion. You're supposed to be the cop that brings the bad guys to jail. Instead, you're mowing everyone down like you're Rambo. Of course, then we got the multiplayer, which felt much smaller in terms of scale due to being constrained by the theme of the game, which is cops and robbers. Obviously, we weren't going to get epic tank battles and helicopters and jets fighting in the skies above us as we captured objectives. The game lost player count at a rapid rate, and the price of the game was cut quickly to try and incentivize new players to try it out. It seemed like everyone had gone back to Battlefield 4, and that was, of course, until...
Move forward!
Battlefield 1. Say what you will about Battlefield 1, but it did inject some much-needed excitement into the franchise after the blunder that was Hardline. I mean, just take a look at this trailer. It's beautiful. It's like the first time I heard the Halo guitar riff in my life. A brand new setting, a beautiful graphical overhaul, and what seemed to be a return to form for the Battlefield franchise. Battlefield 1 was not without its faults, however. A point of contention was the new sniping mechanic called the sweet spot. Basically in the game, every rifle had a sweet spot. What that means is that there was a certain range that rifles would kill in just one shot. No matter where you shot somebody in the body, it would kill them with one shot. Sounds like it would be a good idea, however, this really de-incentivized headshots, which was really a big deal in Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 to score a headshot, so it really started to change the way people were sniping, and people playing the scout class or the recon class, they weren't really engaging in playing the objectives, they were more concerned with staying in the range of sweet spots. And again, I'm generalizing, but I mean, that's what we do. We have to do that when we talk about this kind of shit. Can't go look at all the gameplay videos online and be like, oh, that guy was playing the objective. Anyway. Another issue some players had was the lack of an arsenal that let us take down enemy aircrafts. This excludes AA guns. This, of course, is constricted by the game's setting, so obviously we're not going to have any heat-seeking missiles or anything, but the planes were a little bit harder to take down, which led to some frustrating matches. However, there are some great videos out there of some very talented pilots, but god damn it, just getting bombed on objectives is the worst. Without a doubt, the biggest issue players, including myself, had with Battlefield 1 was random bullet deviation. Random bullet deviation was DICE's way of simulating the inaccuracy of World War I weapons. Now this sounds like it would be a fun idea, simulating shitty World War I guns. However, when you actually play the game, it was a nightmare. When I play a first-person shooter, I want my bullets to go where I aim my gun. I don't want to rely on RNGesus to cast the bullets down at my enemies. I want to be the one responsible for that. I want to know where my I want to know where my bullets are going. I want to know where my investment is headed. Straight down the toilet if we're talking about Battlefield 5.
Got him!
So in other words, random bullet deviation was
HIV/AIDS!
Oh, and elite classes. Can we just agree? These things suck. They can burn in the depths of hell for all eternity. Oh, Battlefield 5, you beautiful, confused potato. I don't really know where to begin with this game. I could rant about this game for hours, but I'll try to keep this as concise as possible. I will not be going into the pre-launch drama that this game had with all of its political controversy because this video would be much longer. I may cover it in its own video only because I feel it's still relevant in what we're seeing in the gaming industry today. So, Battlefield 5. 10 months after launch, Battlefield 5 still does not feel like a complete game. There are still countless issues with this game, such as low player visibility, random graphical bugs and glitches, animation issues. What the fuck? Which can lead to very frustrating situations in a gunfight, or simply trying to traverse the maps. Every time they patch the game to fix bugs, they introduce new bugs. Or they bring back older bugs that were solved in a previous patch. There are major performance issues with stuttering and freezing, and before you say I'm using a potato to run the game, I have an i9-9900K and an RTX 2080 with 32 gigs of RAM. These issues may not persist with everyone, however they do affect a large amount of players, which is why they need to be addressed quickly. All of these issues stacked on the fact that we are slowly being drip-fed content that does not live up to fan expectations. Why did this game launch without the Pacific Theater? You launch a World War II game without Americans, Russians, or the Japanese. We're only playing as the Brits and the Germans. Now I know what you're thinking. Mando, what does all of this have to do with Modern Warfare? Don't worry, I'm gonna tell you. I had a ton of fun with the Modern Warfare beta. It ate up most of my gaming time. God damn it. And I'm sure I'm not the only Battlefield player that took a break from Battlefield to go play Call of Duty. But Mando, COD is so much worse than Battlefield. Battlefield players would never play that filth. A few years ago, I would have agreed with you. I don't mean to sound like an elitist when I say this, but over the years, Battlefield has been getting more and more casual. I mean, let's look at the way we select vehicles. Most vehicles no longer spawn on the map. Sure, there's the odd Jeep or half-track, but if you want to jump into a tank or a plane, we don't have airstrips that you can take off from. You can't just jump into a tank. We have to sit in a menu and hope that we can click fast enough in order to get a tank. This, of course, is not the only example. We see a much heavier emphasis on infantry combat. And this is coming from somebody who spends a very limited amount of time in vehicles. I primarily prefer infantry combat. The issue with Battlefield doing this is that they've been slowly getting away from what made them stand out from what's arguably the king of fast-paced arcade shooters, COD. DICE has seemingly had their eyes set on stealing some of the COD player base and bringing them over to Battlefield, which isn't a bad idea. I would love to see the Battlefield community continue to grow. However, by DICE doing this, we're starting to get a more watered-down version of Battlefield. This is not to say that I want Battlefield to be like Escape from Tarkov or Squad, which are both amazing games. I simply want more depth out of Battlefield, a low barrier to entry, but a high skill ceiling. The new Modern Warfare game has a very addictive gameplay loop. It's fast, the sounds are punchy, and they're offering large-scale game modes, which I'll be playing in the upcoming beta this weekend. I'll have a full video dedicated to Modern Warfare, but my point is that Modern Warfare potentially could be disastrous for Battlefield 5, as Battlefield 5 players now have another AAA first-person shooter to play. This is not the end of Battlefield by any means. However, if DICE and EA do not listen to their community, that community is going to go somewhere else, whether it be Call of Duty or a new shooter that might come out. Hell, who knows? We might even see World War III make a resurgence. I was really hoping that game was going to be the next Battlefield, but god damn it, Farm 51, what are you doing? Anyway, DICE and EA, please bring back the large-scale, epic, all-out war battles that us Battlefield fans are craving, that we love. That's all I have for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments below, are you a Battlefield player? What are your thoughts on the state of Battlefield 5? And will you be picking up or will you be playing Modern Warfare for the beta weekend? Until next time, I will see you in the next video.